Okay, well, Kanye West, yay. Brand new album dropped a week after Pusha T's Daytona. That album was definitely wrapped in controversy with this whole Drake and Pusha beef going on, and Kanye also in the middle of it. So, Kanye, this is the second installment out of the Wyoming session. Pretty excited. We haven't had a Kanye album since The Life of Pablo, which, in my opinion, was kind of half really good, half so-so. Kanye's still sticking with the 7 songs theme. I'm pretty sure, like I mentioned in the review before, all of his albums are gonna have 7 songs on them. And this is just for me as a reviewer. It's kind of tough for me to review something with just 7 songs in the same light as I would review something that is 12 songs deep or granted this is a 24-25 minute project, and I would usually rate albums that are 40 minutes plus or even at least 35 minutes. So while listening to this review, just remember that. But 7 tracks. Kanye does the whole album on his own, production wise. He has many features, most of them being singing features. Mike Dean helps a lot on production, and then there's also a few other people as well. Track 1, I thought about killing you. I saw that, I kind of scratched my head. Kanye doesn't strike me as the intimidating kind of guy, so I was more so pondering what is the subject matter of this song going to be, and it basically kind of relates to the image, his cover artwork. I hate being bipolar, it's awesome. He talks about loving himself, as he's been showing so much of on Twitter lately. If you follow him on Twitter, just been even watching any sort of media news. So he loves himself, and he's about killing himself, so why wouldn't he hesitate to kill you type thing. This is actually really important to understand this album, the state of mind Kanye's in. And just to kind of step back here, this is something that I know a lot of people are really disliking Kanye and a lot of the things he's been saying, and they don't like his opinion, and they don't like just certain things he's been saying. And rightfully so. But with that same token, wouldn't you also be upset if he was dead? A lot of people, they feel trapped, and like he said on Pusha T's album, where he was taking pills, 7 pill nights, and all these things. It's good to know that he's still alive and making music and happier, even if his opinions don't match ours. But that's a whole nother topic. So you kind of hear that on this song. The intro is just him talking, then the bass comes in to add on to the beat. He starts rapping. I'm really digging the production here. It's very different from the Pusha T production because Kanye dug all these samples at Amoeba. He dug over 1,000 records according to a source. So the Pusha T is a lot more hard, a lot more banging, a lot more fitting for him. The Kanye samples are a lot more relaxing, chill. Like I said, there's a lot of singing on this album, so just be prepared for it. The beat switches up at the second half of his verse. I'm digging it a lot. One thing you'll notice on this album, is you've probably noticed with many of Kanye's albums and songs, is just some cringe-worthy, shakehead-worthy bars. For example, on this one, when he starts off the song saying he calls up his loved ones, his cousins, then he calls up the Muslims. Like, what are you calling the Muslims for? First of all, I talked to my dad. He got no text or call from you, Kanye. So he just adds like these such dumb lines, and if you're listening, you catch him, and you're just like, why is he say not a problem? I don't take any I don't care. I'm not religious, but it's just like so hilarious to me that he's saying he's calling up the Muslims when yeah. So we get into Yikes. Apparently, I've heard that Drake helped write this one. If so, that's just really interesting considering the Drake Pusha T Kanye beef going on right now. But this song, the flow of it on the chorus reminds me especially of The Life of Pablo. I'm holding this bootleg. It's not official, so don't hit me up, ask me where I got it. It's bootleg. It really reminds me, I think it reminds me of Wolves, but I'm not sure, but it definitely reminds me of something that would have been made during a Life of Pablo session. He's listing off some of the drugs he's taken. He's listing off some of the people who have been concerned for him. I'm really loving the shit talk he's adding to one of the choruses. I believe it's the last chorus that he spits. He's talking shit like, that's why y'all fuck with yeah, your girl fucks with yeah, blah, blah, whatever. And I just think it makes the song that much better. Although it's so cocky, I think it works so freaking well with this song. You know, he's turning, you know, the bipolar negatives into the positives of it. So it's really showing that duality of his personality. It's really such a replayable, dope freaking track. Man, we get into All Mine. I'm loving the little organ in the beginning, and then Jeremiah comes out of nowhere and just hits you with such an awkward voice. And I remember the first time I heard this, I thought there was something wrong with the speakers. It was quite hilarious. It's like oddly freaking catchy. It's not a song that I would want to play like bumping in the car and it comes up on shuffle. I would probably turn down, put my windows up. I'm not like that confident where I can just freely bump that. It's like hilarious, but it works. I don't know how Kanye does it. He does it. Just to be quite honest with you, it completely works. And Ty Dolla $ign comes in too. Kanye, probably out of all the songs, this is a song with the most cringeworthy bars. I'll pull some up in a sec. Oh my lord. Oh my god. So he's like, I love your titties because they prove I can focus on two things at once. So funny. And then the one that everyone's heard, none of us would be here without cum. You know, it's just Kanye being Kanye, and this is what separates Kanye from the elite lyricists of the world and why he always kind of lacks in that category. But it's such a catchy song, and you know, not all artists are meant to be some lyrical monstrosity. He's a great producer, and he can flow for the most part, so we'll give him that. This song is actually, ironically, talking about giving into temptations, talking about who he wants to, you know, have sex with and girls that he wants to bang and all these things. And it's the reason why I say it's quite ironic is because into the next song we're kind of hearing, you know, the bipolar aspect of Kanye West again, because now the next song he's talking about loving his wife. So we get into Wouldn't Leave. Like I said, this is him now talking about appreciating the women in his life, mainly his wife Kim Kardashian. The power couple, if you must say so. It's quite nice to hear Kanye's soft side come out, you know. He's really typically such an egotistical guy that when you hear him, you know, dedicating an entire song to someone else, it's quite touching. Showing how, you know, his wife Kim has stuck by him through all of his antics and just straight going off the freaking deep end and all these things. It's a good song for him to put out there, and there's also a lot of singing on this one too, and it works. It really does. No Mistakes. Oh my god, it comes in with that Slick Rick. I pulled the vinyl out. Comes in with that Slick Rick, Hey Young World sample. What a freaking classic song. Was about to bust out the eye patch. Just kidding. I'm already really fucking OD as it is. That would be really stupid. Wow, you get such a hip-hop hard-on when you hear that. It's nice that Kanye is showing respect to his elders, especially amidst this whole younger generation versus older generation thing that I keep seeing pop up on my timeline. Just grow up, people. I love how Kid Cudi and Charlie Wilson come in together with their vocals. It just sounds so nice. Really, it does. Kanye has it's just such a short little song. It's great. He shouts out Ice Cube, my favorite rapper. Let's put him on the screen. Yep, now that you took that in. You know, and honestly, a little sidebar here, I'm starting to wonder if Ice Cube is his favorite rapper as well, because on a lot of albums and a lot of songs, I'm hearing Ice Cube's name mentioned. I'm assuming he puts Tupac in that breath as well, considering he mentions him a lot, but I would like to know that on a little nerd sidebar here. Ghost Town, Party Next Door, Kid Cudi in the beginning, very singy song. If you don't like the album so far, I'm assuming it's because you're not a fan of the singing. It really works. Kanye also has harmony in his voice. The whole song is really about thinking and being free, and I really like it. That outro by 070 Shake is just amazing, if I must say. It takes me kind of back to my childhood, not even trying to just fit in with the song, but just to be quite honest with you, that's just really what it sounds like. And I like how he extends the outro a bit for 070 Shake to shine. And like I said, it really just takes you to the moment of being a child and being worried free, and I think Kanye pretty much captures that quite excellently on this one. So to start off this song is, once again, 070 Shake, the person who just concluded the last song. So with this being Violent Crimes, Kanye is now taking on the protective father role. He knows how men act towards women, how they want to have sex with them, how they want to use them for personal gain, things like that. And now that Kanye has a daughter, he's very protective of his daughter and sees now what women go through a little more. It's kind of in the same vein as Daughters by Nas, if you had to compare it to something. I'm really liking a lot of the singing on here. Nicki Minaj has a little outro which ties into one of Kanye's bars on the song. Very mature track. It's good to see Kanye like this. And this album shows the mature sides of Kanye and a little bit of the egotistical side of him as well. So it does make sense, the bipolar aspect of it, being happy, sad, dark, light, whatever. So I guess it's rating time. He talks about all the tracks. This album, I'm not as big on it as I was the Pusha T one. It is a lot more sing-songy. The whole mood is different on this album. It's not a bad mood at all. It's actually pretty good. I think the singing was very well done. Kanye, you really have to take your hat off to this guy. Every single album he's had sounds different, at least post-graduation, I would say. They all sound different. And the fact that he finds success with each sound, at least in my opinion, he finds success with each sound, it's hard to do. You really have to admire him for that, and especially, even if you don't like it, you have to admire him for taking the risk, at least. It's hard, because I don't think there's any bad Kanye album. There's albums that I definitely don't listen to that much and personally don't prefer, but I suppose looking from an objective standpoint, there's not really a bad Kanye album, and this one's also not bad. It's one of my lesser favorite ones, especially because of the length of it, but to call it bad would kind of be ridiculous in my opinion. I'm probably going to have to give it like a 7.5 Olanzapines out of 10, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like 7.5. If you don't know what that is, you got to look it up, man. That's just how it works. The singing, that direction, some of his cringeworthy lyrics, and just him not being a superb lyricist in general kind of halters the project. The singing is not bad by any means, it's just not completely my type of style, so in my personal ranking it'll go a little bit down. But it's a very good album. Granted, if this was a little longer, a few more tracks, I'm sure it would have been in the 8s. Who knows, maybe it would have cracked a 9, I don't know. You minimize the risk by having a shorter album. Production was also great. There's no beat that was too flashy or drew the attention away from the others. If I had to pick my favorite, it would probably be Yikes. But no, well done on the production, for real. I'm excited to hear the rest of the albums coming out of, this Wyoming experience and the rest of the samples he's going to pull out. So what do y'all think of this? You give it a higher rating, lower rating? Give me your favorite track. Where does this rank in Kanye's discography? Once again, don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate y'all so much. And, yeah, you know what I'm saying?